Protea is one of the most interesting Warframes in the game, and recently I played her on stream and decided, well, I want to make a really cool build for her, so I made 4 builds for her. So today we have a lot of things. Almost invincibility and incredible survivability capabilities, but you have to be careful. We have nuking capabilities as well as always. We have a mobile turret warframe, we have energy, armor stripping, everything, all of that cool pizzazz. So without any more delays, let's quickly get into the video. Protea is the better Vauban in the game. I'm sorry, Vauban mains, trains, I love you. You look amazing, I love the skins, but sadly I do have to say, Protea is a much better engineer. Her kit synergizes incredibly well together. She is one of my favorite Warframes just because you stop for 1 second and you have to get worried. I'm joking, it's not that bad, but you have to be careful with this Warframe. Mobility is very key and she's incredibly fun. But let's, just stop talking about that. Let's get into the passive. First of all, her passive is incredibly good. Every 4th ability, you are gonna have additional 100% ability strength bonus on that ability. This is gonna benefit almost everything. Your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as well. So, incredibly good. Her passive, mwah. Nice. Let's move on to the first ability, Grenade Fan. You throw around balls that do slash damage in a pretty decent radius. You throw 3 of them, they stagger the enemies and will do slash damage. That is when you tap the ability, but when you hold it down, you're gonna throw down 4 shield grenades that when you pick them, cross over them and or your allies, you're gonna gain shields and overshields, basically instantaneously. This is gonna help you out a lot. Throw around a couple of these and there you go, you got pocket shield gating. Laser Artillery is the 2nd ability, and this is gonna let you blaze through Steel Path, turning you into a Zaku just much better. Now let's talk about this ability. You can summon 2 turrets that deal heat damage and stacking heat damage per hit. They also do have punch through as well, and the damage gets very good. Now one of the best things in the world is Temporal Artillery, the augment mod. When Temporal Anchor is activated, one existing artillery is gonna basically attach to you, the duration gets halted, and the combo count is maxed out at 20. Keeping in mind, the more enemies that you hit, the higher that multiplier is gonna go when you don't have this augment, so you can go really high up. You can actually summon more turrets, but it's gonna disappear the last one that you had. The 3rd ability is Dispensary, one of the best things in the world. This will allow you to get health, energy, and ammo pickups. It's on a rotation as well, and it's really good to have. Almost have this ability active all of the time. Temporal Anchor is the 4th ability of Protea. Now this is a very polarizing ability and somewhat hard to fathom in my monkey mind, but I'll explain it the best I possibly can. You set a Temporal Anchor. After that, you basically do whatever you want to do and what you would usually do. In that time, everything spent will be basically rewarded back to you when the rewind happens, and once you do damage and based on the damage dealt, you are gonna have an implosion that is gonna be at the end of the ability. This implosion is gonna do a lot of damage depending, of course, on the damage that you have dealt. If you take lethal damage, this is basically gonna save you. It is gonna just bring you back, but it's gonna save you, so that's gonna be incredibly good. You do also have initial 3 seconds of invulnerability with this ability, which is very good. But what is the icing on this cake? Well, Temporal Erosion. This augment mod is incredibly good. While Temporal Anchor is active, each strike from Grenade Fan or Blaze Artillery strips 10% of the enemy's armor. Now, this does scale, of course, and this ability gets into insane numbers, and you're gonna be stripping entire rooms. You wanna strip those entire rooms, you wanna nuke rooms, you wanna be a mobile turret, gaming weasel. Get to it. This is the build up on screen. We have a lot of power strength, going power, we have blind rage, we do also utilize Archon Vitality. Every time we proc a heat proc, it's gonna proc another one, which is very good. We do have energy in the form of Prime Flow, Equilibrium, Molt Augmented, and Molt Efficiency for extra duration and power strength as well. Prime Sure-Footed, I would say, is a must in my opinion. And we do have the 2 augment mods as well. Now, this is the first mobile nuker build. Now, let's say, for example, you don't like Temporal Anchor, but you still want to armor strip those enemies. Well, I have a really good build. This is it right here, and you might be seeing that I'm using Ophium Eye. Eyes. Ophium Eyes is the ability from Jade where you armor ship enemies by basically looking at them, and you will actually armor ship them a lot. Considering her passive does actually work on this ability, makes it even better, and you also slow down the enemies. What's very good here is you can actually switch out Ophium Eyes for anything else that you want. The other good ability is gonna be Terrify. Now this does scare them away, but you can crowd control them through the next means coming up. So there you go, that's 3 builds for you guys that you can use, and now let's quickly cover the 4th one before going into anything else. Of course, it is gonna be the Nourish Protea build. We all know Nourish is incredibly good, gives you viral, gives you additional energy, and gives you viral damage, which is very nice considering they're gonna be taking a lot of slash damage and heat, and they are gonna have armor, but that Nourish is definitely gonna help. Let's move on to the Archon Shards. We have 2 red ones, one giving us 15% power duration, the other one giving us strength. We do have 3 yellow Archon Shards, one for casting speed, one for 50% effectiveness of energy orbs, and the last one being extra parkour velocity. This is the only Warframe that I have put parkour velocity on, and that is because of her mobility being incredibly good and very much needed. Focus school of choice, as always, is gonna be Madurai. Madurai is gonna give you additional casting speed through power transfer, and sling strength is gonna give you additional strength, which is just that a perfect cherry on top. Now let's talk about weapons. Weapons, there is a lot of them. One of the 2 best recommendations for applying a lot of statuses and getting rid of those Eximus units overguard is gonna be the Cedo, and the Cedo Prime when it comes out quite soon enough with Lavos. So this is the build that I use. I actually have Magnetic on here as well just to fully get rid of that overguard because it is very much needed, and I can apply viral with this. So I do need Nourish on my build, and that's why I sort of put the Nourish on the sidelines. But an incredibly good crowd controlling weapon is gonna be the Proboscis Cernos. This is what the build looks like. We have viral, we have heat, we have magnetic as well. This is gonna be grouping up enemies, not really doing loads of damage, but helping out as well for killing acolytes in those rare situations where you can't use your abilities. We have the Spore Laser Kit Gun. This is what it looks like, this is the build, and you can see the parts probably rolling right now somewhere on screen. Hopefully I put it in there. But we also have the Latum. You can use the Latum as well, it's pretty good, or any other secondary that you think and know is gonna kill acolytes. Dual Tox Cornin, for example, as well. Melee weapon is completely up to you, but the companion is going to be pretty good if you're gonna use Nautilus. With Nautilus you can use the Cedo or even other weapons, so the Proboscis Cernos is not really a must because Nautilus is gonna be crowd controlling the enemies. This is the build up on screen for Nautilus and the Cryotra. That is what I primarily run, but you can also use the Hellstrom on your Nautilus, which is going to be incredibly good because it's going to be applying gas, and Synth the Construct is going to be proccing all of the time, giving you even more energy and more health orbs and keeping you alive. Now, how are you supposed to play this engineer? First of all, get your Dispensary set up and give yourself a lot of overshields through your first ability. Then, what you want to do is activate your 4th ability. If you're using, hopefully, the Mobile Turret Nuker build, you need to activate your 4th ability, then hopefully you have your 100% boost on your passive, and then activate your 2nd ability, and then you can activate it again. You can throw around your balls everywhere, or as we intellectuals would say, not everywhere on the field with a lot of slash, and the enemies are gonna get armor stripped, killed, and rooms cleared. You're the happy lad, and you have succeeded in surviving in Steel Path. So, hopefully I made it simple. If I did, do leave a like, and also do comment down below on what you think of Protea. Quite interested on that. I really love her active gameplay. It's incredibly good, fun. I don't know, I just enjoy Warframes where you have to spaz around like a madman. But that's just me. Hopefully you liked it as well. Subscribe and become a member, it is very much appreciated. I do want to say thank you very much for Hapt Gamer. He helped me out with this build on stream as well, and thank you very much for everyone who helped me out, and also Toast Spectre for being a member, gifting members, and everyone else who is. Love you all, this has been the Gaming Weasel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.